Good morning. Plowing through my second cup of coffee. I normally do these Facebook Lives on Bach Performance, but I figured, you know what the heck, let's do it on the Eric Bach page. And today, topics. First, I want to talk about crash diets, whether they work, whether they don't, and how you can strategically use them while still being smart. And then talk about the maximum rate of fat loss. And then diving a little bit more specifically in to a brand new program I'm launching called the 60-Day Spring Shred. So stay tuned for the end of that, and I'll make sure we get to that towards the end of the video. One thing right now, if you guys are on the video or watching live, please do me a favor and just hit the little thumbs up button, like, love, hate. I don't really care, just hit one of them. Just lets me know that you're there and engaged. Awesome, we got one already. Appreciate it, guys. All right, so first off, apologize for any shaking of the camera. Like I said, coffee. But, crash diets. Crash diets can work, and they can work very well. But crash diets for fat loss are a short-term solution to a long-term problem. And what I mean by that, if it's taking you 10 years, 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years to get to a certain body weight and you're not happy with where it is and you want to be able to take it off, it's going to take you a long time to get back to the point where you're lean and where you're happy with where you're at. And really defining a crash diet, you could go to a simple, think of the last time you're at the grocery store, right? The 10-day muffin top melter, or 14 days to abs, or the 7-day belly flattener, all these little things, these are all crash diets. More specifically, you can look at 14-day challenges, 21-day challenges, 30-day challenges, all these different things. And, short-term aggressive approaches like this are good for one thing, two things actually, building momentum and then getting you out of a rut. But without focusing on the long-term changes that it really requires and building the habits that are required to keep fat off, you're not going to be successful in your long-term diet goals. And any crash diet that you need, or any crash diet that you use, has to be short-term. And this is where people start to fall into issues, right? They follow some crash diet, maybe it's like a 14-day cleanse, something along those lines, and they see results. They see 8 pounds off the scale, 10 pounds off the scale, maybe down a size in terms of a dress or in terms of a pair of pants, and all of a sudden, this is what their only gauge is for fat loss. It's what says on the scale. And when you drop calories off a cliff, say you go from a 2,500 calorie diet and you drop off to something ultra restrictive, say you're 1,200 calories, 1,500 calories, your body starts burning everything it can for fuel. And that doesn't just mean body fat. That means the muscle that you've worked hard in the gym to build. That's the muscle that also keeps your metabolism humming and gives you that defined or toned look that you have when you are a little bit leaner. And over time, when your calories are staying low like this, your metabolism starts to slow down. Your body starts to adapt. This process can be called metabolic damage. I think more appropriately, keyed by Lyle McDonald, was metabolic adaptation, where your body starts to adapt to having fewer calories over time. And more or less what happens, you keep on a road to the diet, you keep restricting calories, and all of a sudden you're having 1,200 calories, and by every means or every equation or any bit of science, it means that you should be losing fat, and you're not. And it's like, what the hell is going on? All of a sudden you're super frustrated, you've been working your ass off at the gym, in the kitchen, making all the right decisions, you're eating a super restricted caloric diet, and you're not losing fat. And this is the vicious cycle that people will fall into month after month, year after year. This is the typical thing where you see somebody who's been dieting long term. It's been weeks, months, years that they've been on a consistent fat loss diet and they're not seeing results. So that's the biggest problem with fat loss diets. Now, it's not to mean, or not fat loss diets, but crash diets. And it's not to say that they're not effective and they do not work to get you off a plateau and can have fairly dramatic results in a short period of time, but crash diets have to be short term. You'll gain incredible momentum if you do it correctly, and you'll get out of a rut, but keep it short. So this kind of leads into the next question. How much fat can you actually lose, or what is the maximum rate of fat loss? And research tends to be all over this. In different areas. That's research as a whole, right? You read 3 studies that say one thing and three that say something else. But the most common number that really seems to be is about 1% of your body weight. So if you're 300 pounds, that would mean, you're losing 3 pounds of fat maximum per week. 1 to 2 pounds of fat, given most people are between 100 and 200 pounds-ish. That seems to be about it. So 1 to 2 pounds a week is what you can expect to lose of pure body fat if everything is lined up, everything is firing full go, and you are nailing your diet and your training. But much more than that, well, you're probably losing some lean muscle. It could be a lot of water retention, some things like that that are really kind of skewing the number, which is why you can't endlessly just look at the scale. Which, this leads right to my next point. And today we are launching a brand new coaching program over at Bach Performance called the 60-Day Spring Shred. And we haven't done something like this before. And what it is, it's a group training program. And with this group training program, what we're going to be able to use is a private group where you guys are going to be able to use accountability, some group training, and really key in and help each other lose more fat over time. And the reason we're starting this now, I had somebody ask, dude, why are you starting like a spring break or like a summer shred program in February? It's still snowing outside. Well, when we break down the math and reverse engineer anything, it's always shocking to realize how little time we actually have to lose fat. So let's take the example, Memorial Day, we're looking, give or take 12 weeks until Memorial Day, and that's the unofficial kickoff of summer. If you have 12 to 15 pounds of fat to lose, if you're hitting the maximum rate of fat loss, that means you have to start right now. And a lot of people have a lot more than 12 to 15 pounds to lose, and without really reverse engineering this math and thinking about, oh, I don't really have that much time, it's really hard to build the body that you want in time for summer. What tends to happen is we reach May, everyone's got spring fever, the temperatures are warm, weather's getting awesome, and you realize, oh shit, I've got a cookout in 4 weeks, or I've got a vacation in 6 weeks, and it becomes freak out time. And this is when the crash diet cycle kind of starts over again, just like it does around the new year. So that means if you actually want to be in the shape that you want to be in by the time we get to spring, by the time we get to summer, that means you need to start your fat loss diet now. So as I mentioned, that's going to segue directly into the 60-Day Spring Shred program. And a lot of people want to know what this is. Simple. Really over the past couple of years, I've been looking at different crash diets and how well they work. And hey Hunter, what's up, man? New workout for you. It's going to be fun. Sorry, let me segue back to that. Hunter's one of my online clients, absolutely killing it right now. But yeah, so getting back to the 60-Day Spring Shred. What this program is, it's a couple of different unique tracks that I've worked with my clients both in person and online. Really over the last 9 to 12 months, I've really focused on this to see what workouts and what diet plans are going to help both create some long-term habits, but also be rapid enough to start seeing some rapid changes in body composition, help you lose fat. And I'm talking to the rate of 8-ish pounds a month, and I've had a few clients very successful with this. And in this program, what I've done is create some different programs. So we've got programs for men, programs for women, we got advanced, intermediate programs, travel workouts, and then some workouts when you are fairly new to the gym, things that are fairly easy, because you know, if you've been at this long enough, you kind of realize that, you know, you can train all you want, but you can't out-train a bad diet. So with these different programs, you're going to have everything really accounted for, right? I'm going to help you account for your gym experience, equipment, just different things that we can do to help you build muscle, retain muscle, but lose the fat. I'm going to provide a diet guide for you guys. So it's going to be a how to calculate your macros, how to really start building some habits for the long term that are going to help you take the momentum that you get from the 60-Day Spring Shred and continue to lose fat after that. I've got recipes, meal plans, all this stuff perfectly lined out for you guys, so it's simple and mindless, so you guys can really start to lose fat and get in that shape that you want for summer coming up. But even better, like I mentioned, it's a private group. And because we are doing more of a small group theme, I'm able to drop the price. That's my one, is my thumb, I guess. But I'm able to drop the price a little bit, so it's about 70% cheaper than my normal online coaching. We're going to have a lot of people in this one, right? We're going to be able to cover in-depth questions. We're going to have different Facebook Lives specifically within the group, and different accountability that you're going to need to help get the best results over this 60-day course. But I have to tell you, spots will be limited. Like I said, I've been testing the program, but I cannot take everybody that applies for it. However, if you guys are really looking to get in your best shape that you can for spring and summer, honestly, the time to start is now. Like I said, the maximum rate of fat loss that you can truly expect if you're looking purely at fat mass is 1 to 2 pounds of fat per week, or 1% of your body fat. And that's if everything is firing full go. So, like I said, breaking that down, if you want to be 12 pounds lighter by the time we get to Memorial Day cookouts, that pretty much means you need to start now and you need to be full go towards fat loss. So, with that said, guys, if you're interested in the program, excellent. Just hit the little like button. I'm going to be putting some content out this entire week, both here and then on the Bach Performance Facebook page. Like I said, just hit like, and I will reach out to you individually. I'm not going to go into a long sales pitch. But on top of that, any questions that you have in terms of anything we covered, from crash diets to the maximum rates of fat loss, just drop them below, and I will get back to your questions throughout the day. With this much coffee, I need to go hit the gym, but I will be back later. And thank you guys for joining. I will talk to you soon. If I can hit the finish button, but I can't. Boom. Nope, still? Okay.